Something's going on with the air conditioning. I don't know.
Hey, you off mute too.
Salaki. Watch.
Sorry. Mm-hmm. Give him a second. Let's get in here. All right. All right. Let me see here. Let me share this screen right here.
Mm-mm.
I
Yes, sir.
see here. Let's get back to
Oh,
all right. What we got up on the screen, right?
you want me to make you solo?
All right, cool.
Oh, I was
What'd you
asking if
say?
you wanted me. I was asking if you wanted me to make you solo.
Oh, nah, you got control over there too?
Come on, come
All right, Most High and Christ. All right, so this is Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, back in 1969 under commanding General Yohana, priest and officer Kazak Damar, Isupk, Jacksonville, Florida, in here with my brother from another mother, Officer in the shop. You know what I'm saying? Down at headquarters.
Let's clap it up. You made it, sir. You made it.
Scripture breakdown class, as we do every Monday night. Everybody, if you got any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and ask your questions. I'm gonna be dealing with a topic tonight if I get a chance. You know what I'm saying? The Lord allow. And other than that, man, the shot. What's going on, huh?
Oh my, sir. It's just the same. It's always the same old for me. My mind never seems to stop. The wheels never stop turning. Considering blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian people and what we're going through, and our condition. I just promise you, every day, I feel like what I mean. I'm just hurt looking at my people. And it hurts even more when it doesn't hurt, but we live a fantasy life. I'm at the slave again today, and this brother swear he knows the Bible, and he's telling me, the first he talking about the first coming of Christ and the second coming of Christ, but the way he was explaining it, it's just you could tell all he was doing was like regurgitating something he heard from somebody else, and he's just trying to get it right with the way he's saying it. And but he doesn't know the Bible, obviously, because he's not in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. So he doesn't know what what it's gonna look like when Christ returns. I say, what is it gonna look like? He's like, Christ is gonna come, out the sky. I'm like, so how's that gonna look? What's that gonna look like? Is Christ just gonna hover in the sky and everybody's gonna look up and see a man floating in the sky? What is it? And he has no answer. But yet and still he doesn't want to hear my answer. You know what I'm saying? So it's just hurt, how our people, we've been misled so many times before to now it's like everybody swears they're going to teach themselves and learn on their own. You know what I mean?
Well, with that, now you get what I always bring out at the beginning of every class. Let's go ahead and go there since you said that. Hebrews chapter 5, verse 12. Let's go there.
Hebrews 5 and 12, if you would.
Sir.
Yeah. Any trooper, any officer want to come into the class? I think I dropped the live in there. I did not drop the attendance. So
I got it, sir.
Yeah, if you get a chance, go ahead and get the attendance. Let me know when you got it up.
Sir, I got it.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 5, verse 12. For the time you ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which is the first principles of the oracles of God.
Now, I always bring this out. Like, this is what the shock is talking about. These people think they know about God. They think they know about the Bible. They think they know. Why do they think they know? Because somebody taught them something, right? But the Bible was saying, and Paul was saying this right now, that there's a time gonna come where you ought to be teachers, and you're gonna have need that one teach you again. Now I know you know. I don't know if you ever heard this in the shock, but there's people on here that think you can't have nobody teach you nothing. You got to get it for yourself. You got to learn it for yourself. You got to study for yourself. You ever heard that before? Well, is that what the Bible is saying here? Read it again.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 5, verse 12. For when for the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again.
You have need that one teach you again. It didn't say you have need that you teach yourself. But shouldn't the Bible have said, yeah, when times when you ought to be teachers, you have need that you teach yourself again. It said you have need that one teach you again.
God.
They saying, oh yeah, you don't need no man to teach you. What you think the disciples had? They had a man by the name of Yahushua to teach them. What do you think Paul was doing? Right? You had need of someone to teach you again. You got to relearn all them things that you thought you knew. All the things that you thought, they told you the law is done away with. They told you that everybody, the Bible was a white man's book. They told you that, you know what I'm saying? Christ is God and they equal and co-equal and all this. So they told you all of that, right? They told you that you ain't got to worry about the law, statutes, and commandments no more. They was nailed to the cross. Yeah, you have need that one teach you again. Everything that you do. Remember that Christ was saying you can't put new wine in the old bottles, right? You need some new bottles. That means it needs to be a new you. Somebody got to retrain you on what the Bible really is saying. Because when we read stuff to you that's in the Bible, it's crazy how you don't even know what it's talking about, but you saying it like you do. You saying it like you do. All you got to do to confound a Christian is go on digging into Revelations or Ezekiel. Just go start there. Either one of them, and they just gonna run away from it and go right back to Paul. And when they saying Paul agrees with Ezekiel and Revelations, but they don't know that. All you got to do is start pulling the words of Christ, and then they're gonna run back to Paul. Well, Paul agrees with Christ, and they don't know that. You know why they don't know that? Because of Marcion of Sinople. That's why. Anybody ever heard of Marcion of Sinople?
La, sir.
Marcion of Sinople is the reason that the law is done away with. The God of the Old Testament, he taught that the law was done away with. The God of the Old Testament was mean and barbaric and killed people, and Jesus was the God of the New Testament.
Wow.
He only followed the books of Paul. Now think about this. Paul was only breaking down the gospel as according to how it went with the law. He come in and put a new spin on it to now where they believe that Paul can say something different than what Christ was saying and what the Torah was saying and the Tanakh was saying and the prophets. When Christ said, I am not come to change or destroy the law or the prophets. You see what I'm saying?
Come.
You got need that when somebody teach you again. That nigga Malcolm said, you've been hoodwinked, bamboozled. You've been... They done taught you a straight up lie, and now you got to come in here and learn the truth. Keep going.
Which be the first principles of the oracles of God.
Now, if y'all ever know anything about me, I don't be trying to get all deep. They be trying to get deep in the shot. You know what I'm saying? They be using words. I had a brother use a word. What was the name of that word? Hypostatic union. The hypostatic union of God, Christ and God. And what was another word? Brothers be using these words. No, man. Listen, this is what you need to learn. Thou shalt not. That's what you need to learn.
That's right.
That's Ecclesiastes. I think it's 11 and 12 or 12 and 13, where it says this is the whole duty of man. Fear God and keep his commandments. These are it's easy. Like, let's make this thing simple, like Christ did. He broke it. You can break it. If you can't break down what you believe to a 5-year-old, you don't really understand what you believe. 5-year-old come up to you in the shop and say, what do you believe? I believe that black people are the real Jews of the Bible, that the white man is the devil, and that Christ came to redeem black people back by teaching them not to sin, but to keep the law so that the Lord would be in their favor and would raise them up to rule the world. That's how I can explain it to them. Now, what's so hard to understand about that? Is that hard to understand at all?
Sir.
You get a Trinitarian on here, you're going to start saying all kind of stuff. Well, God and Jesus are three different persons that exist in the same element, in the same. What are you talking about, bro? The first principles of the oracles of God is very simple. Do what he say do. The beginning of fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. That's simple. Do what he say do. Obedience is better than sacrifice. That's simple. Why they got to make it hard? I don't know. Keep going up.
And are become such as have need of milk.
Have need of what?
Of milk.
Have need of milk. I know you got your eyes on them oxtails and that steak.
Oh, yeah.
I know you want them collard greens, but you need to come here and get this milk. You need to start with something easy to digest, just like a child. Just like a child. You got to crawl before you walk. How they say it. That's a Judite proverb. I know y'all never heard that before. You got to crawl before you walk. They're trying to run before, and they ain't crawling yet. That's a problem. That's a problem. All right. We can stop right there. Anybody got any questions? If not, I'm going all the way to Ephesians chapter 4, verse 11. Matter of fact, let's read that. And then I'll take that. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 11. Hey, Shalom, Yabashim Shurakathah, Sharatazah. What's going on now?
Hey, Shalom, Yabashim Shurakathah. Can you hear me good, sir?
Yeah, loud and clear. Why, you want to read or something?
I got this. You don't want me to read, man. I got this Gideon Bible.
You got Gideon's Bible?
Yeah.
It's all right. I could correct them. I got a real Bible. Boy, see, I got the Gideon. All right, no sweat. Thanks for the warning.
Count on.
Louis, you got it?
You said, sir, you said Ephesians?
Yeah, 4 and 11. Ephesians 4 and 11.
This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 11.
Go up to a 10.
Go up to 10.
This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 11.
Verse 10.
Verse 10. He that descended is the same also as he that ascended up far above all heavens, that he might fill all things. Verse 11.
This is talking about Christ right here. Go ahead.
Verse 11. And he gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists and some pastors and teachers.
That's the end of it? So, look, this is the point. When they be talking about you got to teach yourself and read it for yourself and get it, that's the problem that people have with the Bible. Any other profession that you want to go into, you got to go to school. You got to learn. You got to be taught. You ain't teach yourself math, English, spelling, how to go to the bathroom. Somebody taught you all of that. But when it comes to the Most High, when it comes to the most important thing on the planet, you're going to teach yourself. Right? That's the reason the problem that we was in now. Because when I teach myself, I could read it and say, nah, that ain't what they're saying. Ain't nothing really wrong with weed. That ain't what they're saying. Right. Ain't nothing wrong with sleeping with a woman and throwing her away and giving her a bill of divorcement. That's I can see it right there. They was doing it all in the Tanakh. You know what I'm saying? You reason and you make God what you want him to be.
Right.
That's what you end up doing. That's what every Christian church do it. They'll tell a woman she can't wear earrings or makeup or pants, but she can eat a whole rib sandwich.
Wow. Wow.
Good day. Wait a minute. I remember when I was little, I went up there. My grandma, her pastor, preached the whole sermon and then went outside to smoke the cigarette. threw me for a loop. We ain't see that in the Pentecostal church. That was a Baptist church. I was like, wait a minute. You could do that? You could do that? I thought preachers couldn't smoke. Lord have mercy. Anyways, what he's saying is you ain't supposed to be teaching yourself. He gave some pastors and apostles and evangelists and all of this. What Christ did was, instead of you dealing with everything on your own, is he raised up men to go and raise up other men. He taught men to go and teach other men. You know what I'm saying? He got it to where brothers can clean up their life and then go show other brothers how to change their life. That's what he told Peter. He said, Peter, Satan desires to have you and sift you as wheat, but I prayed for you. Now, once you get it together, once you get yourself together, once you convert it, then you go back and you strengthen your brother. They wasn't doing that in the Old Testament prior to Christ. Now I'm responsible for Nishak and Sharatazah. I ain't just responsible for me. You know how the fake Israelites, me and my house is keeping the Shabbat. Me and my ribs Shabbat. Nah. The same way Christ took responsibility for the entire nation, you're responsible for the entire nation. Go get the ones that don't want to be here and at least warn them, sound the trumpet that the Lord ain't pleased with what you're doing. Show your people their transgressions in the house of Israel, they sins. Like it said right there in the Old Testament, but nobody did it but the prophets. It ain't just Jeremiah's job to speak the words of God. It's your job, nigga, under the order of Melchizedek. It's your job. You ain't got to be a Levite. It ain't just all on Sharatazah and Thawashab. The shop, me and you got to get busy. Benjamin, where he at? Where Benjamin at over there?
He is, sir.
What tribe young man Lewis from?
Judah, sir.
Judah. Everybody got to get involved. Everybody got to get in all to raise up this kingdom. He sent all of them. Give me verse 12. Why did he send these people and put these in this position?
Come. The book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 12. For the perfecting of the saints. Be
ye perfect. Christ gave a command, be ye perfect. The reason you need somebody to teach you, so you can be perfect. That's why. You're gonna get a double echo with the brother because he just popped up. He just popped in the other joint. Be ye perfect. The Lord your God is perfect. All right. So that's for the perfecting of the saints. That's the point. Now, anybody got any questions on that or anything else? Yeah, go ahead.
You good to go?
All right, that's cool. Anybody got any questions?
On topic or off topic, sir?
Nah, off topic.
Okay. You got a question?
Of course, God, sir.
The young man has a question, sir.
Go ahead.
I actually have two questions, sir, but my first question is in Genesis 41 and 14, where Joseph was taken from prison to appear before Pharaoh, and he had to shave himself. Can that be used today as for when you go for interview and stuff like that?
Okay. Let's go ahead and read it. Kinda.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 41 41 verse
Give me verse
40.
12.
Sir. The book of Genesis, chapter 41, verse 12. And there was there with a young man, a Hebrew, servant to the captain of the guard. And we told him, and he interpreted us our dreams. To each man according to his dream he did interpret. Verse 13. And it came to pass, as he interpreted to us, so it was. Me he restored unto mine office, and him he hanged. Verse 14. Then Pharaoh sent to call Joseph, and they brought him hastily out of the dungeon, and he shaved himself, and changed his raiment, and came in unto Pharaoh.
Keep going.
And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I have dreamed a dream, and there is none that can interpret it. And I have heard say of thee that thou canst understand a dream to interpret it.
All right. The answer to your question is, yeah, it's similar. The whole purpose in him doing that is they had him in a dungeon, right? So before he could go before the king, because the king wanted to call for him, they shaved him up the same way the Egyptians say, with that Steve Harvey lining. with the chalk drawing line on his beard. They put the Egyptian football chin strap on him, and they changed it. They put him in a suit and tie and took him before the president. Similar. That would be like what it's like. He changing in like he running for governor, like he's running for mayor. So he's putting on the attire of the people of that time in order to go before the most powerful man that's in the area. So you could use it that way. Like, it's safe for somebody going in an interview, you want to try to look the part. Let's say you're going to be, not just a brother that worked at the in the warehouse, but you're going to be the executive there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I in the area where I work in now in management, I get asked a lot about my beard. I don't really give a shit. It's a lot. I really don't. But I understand that there's certain places that you go within this what's the word I want to say? Within this, I don't know, let's use the word paradigm for lack of a better word, where you doing that or trying to look the part will get you a position that you might not get out of. So this is not up to Joseph, though. Joseph is being brought out of the dungeon. They gave him a shave. They put him on different raiment, right? He's shaving, but he ain't really doing it because he want to. You going before the king, clean yourself up. You know what I'm saying? You understand that? Lewis, you understand? All you gotta do is mute this one. All right. So, any other questions?
Come, sir.
All right, go ahead.
I got a question on that same scripture the brother was reading.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like when Joseph. Okay, I know the Most High was with Joseph, but my question is, like, was it that he was getting like a fresh revelation from the Most High when it said he dreamed, or was it that he already knew, like, the prophecy? Like, he already knew. You know how we already know World War III coming, like we know the Jews are black, we already know. was it that Joseph already knew, or that he was, you know, like the Most High was working with him and giving him like a fresh revelation every time?
All right. Well, you got to look at it like this. It wasn't really about Joseph's dream. The reason we know is because the prophets told us, right? All we do as prophets today, we not bringing new prophecies to the table. We saying the same thing Ezekiel said, the same thing Jeremiah said, the same thing that the Lord revealed to John on the island of Patmos. That's our job as prophets today. Okay. In this arena, right, the Lord wanted Pharaoh to know what was going to happen to him. He wanted him to know what was going on so that he would raise Joseph up. So the Pharaoh was the one that had the dream, but Joseph was the only one that could interpret it. So in a like manner, it'll be like if something is happening and let's say, I don't know, the president of the United States or a governor calls you in, Saratazar, and says, I had this dream, you're the only one that can dissect it. You know the spirit of the Most High. Like, hey, the Lord is going to destroy this place. He said it 1,000,000 times in all the prophets. I know the words of the Lord. You see what I'm saying? I can interpret your dream just based on what has already happened and what Jeremiah said thousands of years ago, what Christ said, what John said. So It was like that, but it was still fresh because nobody had said it before. So if you asking, was he getting a prophecy from the Lord? Yes, to interpret the dream of Pharaoh so that the Lord could raise him up, use Pharaoh to raise him up.
So it's sort of like you remember when the pandemic hit, coronavirus?
Yeah.
And Commander General Hanna already, he coronavirus hit and he broke the whole thing down. Like he basically said, like these plagues are to come, and like he already knew what time it was.
We already waiting on the next one.
Right. Okay.
Right. Yeah, kind.
Okay.
It's the same way. And it's only because we tapped in with the pulse of the Most High. It ain't like if you look right here, if you read verse 15.
Verse 15. The book of Genesis, chapter 41, verse 15. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I've dreamed a dream, and there is none that can interpret it. And I have heard say of thee that thou canst understand a dream to interpret it.
So Joseph was known for this, having this gift. Right. Apparently, a lot of people was going to Joseph, hey man, I dreamed something. The same way people come now, and I like when I get a crazy dream, I might call my captain or call somebody and say, hey, does this mean anything? Should I, is it just a dream? Sometimes we just have stuff on our mind and we dreaming. Sometimes it be the Lord trying to show us something. You got to take it to a priest and be able to let them break it down to you. But check out what Joseph said in verse 16. Go ahead.
Verse 16. And Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, it is not in me. God shall give Pharaoh an answer of peace.
So it ain't up to me to interpret what this dream is. He's saying God is going to give you your answer you're looking for. God is going to show you what that dream meant. You know what I'm saying? Now, he might use me to interpret it for you and tell you, but it's not in me. It's the Most High doing it. So he understood totally where he was getting the gift to interpret dreams from. I don't know if that answered your question or not.
Come, sir. Come, the water.
All right, Most High in Christ. Go ahead, Louis. You had another question?
Come, sir.
Go ahead.
My question is in Exodus chapter 16, verse 29. I just wanted to know, is this the reason why, people understand the Sabbath, so misunderstand the Sabbath, and was this almost like where Moses had to force the Israelites to stay inside because they just did not, understand how to, or just did not, how to have a rest day because of they've been always working.
All right, go ahead and read. Go up a couple.
Sir.
verse 27.
Exodus.
You can start at 26. Go ahead.
Okay. The book of Exodus, chapter 16, verse 26. 6 days shall ye gather it, but on the seventh day, which is the Sabbath, therein shall be none. In it there shall be none. Verse 27. And it came to pass that there went out some of the people on the seventh day for to gather, and they found none. Verse 28. And the Lord said unto Moses, how long refuse ye to keep my commandments and my law? Verse 29. See, for that the Lord hath given you the Sabbath, therefore he hath given you on the sixth. Therefore he hath given you on the sixth day bread for 2 days. Abide every man in his place, and let no man go out of his place on the seventh day.
Read 30.
And the people rested on the seventh day.
All right, so look, this is what's happening. The Lord is establishing the Sabbath day, right? But they still in the middle of the wilderness. They still ain't got nothing to eat. He's raining down manna from heaven. And what's happening is these people are understanding that this manna that's being rained from heaven is how they surviving. This is the only thing they have to eat, right? So just like anybody, let's say it's raining gold outside, and the Lord say, only go get this gold 6 days. What is your natural instinct gonna say? It might not rain tomorrow. Let me go get it today, on Saturday, on the Sabbath day, on the day that he told me not. Just so happen when they go out there, it ain't no gold, it ain't no manna, it ain't no food, right? Because the Lord wanted them to rest. So, and to keep them from being greedy, to keep them to depend on the Most High and to trust in what he had already told them, now there was an ordinance. Now no man should go out of his place, because these niggas was so worried about eating that they forgot that the Lord was feeding them the whole time. It's the same thing. Brothers right now believe that their job is what's sustaining them when it's the Lord feeding them. He might be doing it through a devil. And there's scriptures where the Lord had a animal bring a brother something to eat every day. You know what I'm saying? It's coming out of the sky, and they don't believe that you know, they don't know when it's gonna stop. So they trying to go out on the Sabbath and do it, but the Lord wanted them to rest. So then now he had to put this ordinance on. So now that they would rest on the seventh day the way that the Lord intended for them to do. That's all that's going on. I don't know if I answered your question though. I did?
I was just wondering why did he just tell them to stay in their tents and not, not in the
tent? Because they could not contain themselves. They were looking for food every day, even on the Sabbath. It's no different than you go and put in that overtime on Saturday because you don't know when the money's gonna stop. It's no different. All right. You get a little greedy, like, let me get that. Even though I know the Lord told me to chill out today, I gotta go get this money because I don't know how I'm gonna pay these bills. When your obedience to the Lord is way, way more important than them few dollars that you're gonna make. You understand, right? All right. Any other questions?
Salaki, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the scripture we just went over, you just broke down. So I'm just thinking, like, so even with the Sabbath, and we're in the wilderness, just coming out of Egypt. Basically, the Most High is trying to get us to start understanding and keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments, right?
Yeah, well, he's establishing the laws, statutes, and commandments. Yeah, but he's telling us what to do.
Right.
Remember, the law was before Moses had hit the law of Moses, there was already laws.
Right.
Noah knew about the law unclean. He gave Adam the law. He didn't give nobody else to only eat certain things, to build a family, so on and so forth. So as you get down to this, we getting new laws added. Noah didn't have the law to be not like the Egyptian, to not abhor an Edomite, because he ain't had to deal with them people. They didn't exist. You feel what I'm saying? So the law is progressive. Now we have to have conversations about laws about LGBTQ, and we got to line them up with what it says in the Bible. I'm sure they was dealing with it, but it wasn't talked about in the same manner as it is now. The law has progressed. Now, this is what that means, and this is the spirit behind it, and this is what the Lord got to say about it. That's why it's your job to break this thing down for people living now, just like it was Moses' job to break this thing down for us when we was in the wilderness. You understand? All right, so, hey, look, I got about, you had another question?
No, sir. I was just, if I may.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, yeah, because we weren't keeping, we had the Sabbath, but we wasn't keeping it in Egypt, correct? We stopped keeping all the.
No, the Lord established the Sabbath with Moses. I don't remember seeing nothing about no Sabbath prior to that law. Now you can find it, but from what I know is in Leviticus 23 and in Exodus right here where it was talking about it, it started with the manna. I'm raining it out 6 days. It's in Genesis, right?
Right.
It's in Genesis, but I'm talking about how you actually carry it out. I don't see it. I don't see nobody really speaking on it until we exit this out.
I got you. I understand.
Yeah, it's there, but I don't know where you can find where somebody was actually shown how to keep the Sabbath.
Gotcha.
All right. So with that, let me go into this real quick. You know, it's I'm at in Jacksonville at the Pearl Brentwood Library, right? They close at 8 o'clock. So let me see if I can get some of these in. We're gonna go into angels real quick. If y'all could give me in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary the definition of angel, and somebody can tell me like what an angel is. What are angels?
Lucky.
Go ahead.
So like an angel, well, I mean, is a messenger.
Right. A messenger of what?
Of the Most High.
Okay. All right. Angel, a messenger of the Most High. All right, so let me tell y'all some things that people believe about angels. People believe that angels are little babies with bow and arrows that fly around and they shoot people and make them fall in love. People believe that their grandma died and became their angel, or their somebody in their family that was a female or something like that died and became angels. Mm-hmm. People believe that angels fought against God and they are fighting against God right now. Mm-hmm. Y'all know that, right? Okay. All right. So let's talk about what they look like. What's their job? Somebody give me the Zondervan Bible Dictionary about angels real quick.
Sir, I got it.
Go ahead, read it real quick.
Sir. Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, page 39. Angel, messenger.
That's what the brother said. Keep going.
A supernatural or heavenly being a little higher in dignity than man.
Whoa, a little higher in dignity than man. Why are they higher in dignity than man? Anybody know?
It's a lot.
Go ahead, Louis.
No, that was Itazab, sir.
Louis raised his hand. He on the screen.
Oh, okay, Slack.
I think it's because I wouldn't say because they deal direct with the Most High, so that's why they.
No, that's not right. Go ahead, Itazab.
Lucky because unlike man, they obey. They have no choice but to obey the law.
That's correct. Angels don't love to get high. Angels are not infatuated with whores.
Mhm.
Angels don't smell pork ribs and be like, oh, that smells lovely, I just gotta have them. That doesn't happen. They're spiritual beings. Our disconnect with the Most High comes by way of the lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, and the pride of life. Angels don't have to deal with that. They are completely obedient to the Most High. All right? Keep going with the definition.
Come, sir. Angel, messenger, a spiritual, it's like a supernatural or heavenly being, a little higher in dignity than man. Angels are created beings. Psalms 148, 2 through 5.
No, don't worry about all that.
Okay.
Let's keep reading.
Scripture does not tell us the time of their creation, but it was certainly before the creation of man.
We do teach that. Now, Zondervan ain't right about everything he's going to say about angels. Keep reading.
Come. They are described as spirits, although without a bodily organism. They have often revealed themselves in bodily form to man. Jesus said that they do not marry and do not die.
All right, let's just stop right there. Give me Ezekiel chapter 1 real quick. Ezekiel chapter 1. Let's go through it. See what the Bible says about these angels. Are they fighting God? Are they naked babies? What they look like?
Ezekiel chapter 1 verse.
Hold on, let me get there and I'll tell you what verse.
35.
Hey, can one of y'all brothers mind reading?
Come.
One of y'all officers. Give me verse 5.
Come.
Ezekiel 1 and 5.
Chapter 1, verse 5. Also, out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures, and this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man.
So Ezekiel is seeing these messengers, right? These angels, and they have a likeness of a man. That's something that you will see throughout the Bible. Sometimes they take the form of a man and they look just like me and you. Keep going.
Come. And every one had 4 faces, and every one had 4 wings.
These angels that look like in the man, they had 4 faces and they had 4 wings. So this is something a little bit different. I don't know if y'all ever saw that show Lucifer. Anybody ever saw that show Lucifer? So they got a devil playing the devil.
Come.
He playing himself.
Yeah.
The white man is playing himself on there.
Yes, subtitle.
But anyways, they look like regular men, but then sometimes you'll see their wings come out, then they'll turn into fierce looking things or whatever. They get all of this stuff from the Bible, all right? But they also have to make it line up with what people believe angels look like or angels are. But this is how Ezekiel is describing it the best he can. They got 4 faces, 4 wings. Give me verse 7.
Come. Verse 7. And their feet were straight feet.
Mm-hmm.
And the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot. And they sparkled like the color of burnished brass.
Yeah, we like to bring out that part that they feet and all of that was the color of burnished brass. Keep going.
Come. And they had the hands of a man under their wings, on their 4 sides, and they 4 had their faces and their wings. There were wings. Their wings were joined one to another. They turned not when they went. They went every one straight forward.
Read verse 10.
Verse 10. As for the likeness of their faces,
What their face look like? Go ahead.
they four had the face of a man and the face of a lion on the right side, and they four had the face of an ox on the left side. They had four. It's like they four also had the face of an eagle.
Now, so as he describing this, we don't know exactly. You have to put it together in your mind what these angels look like, and all angels don't look like this, right? But these particular angels, what we know and can say without any type of argument is they didn't look like naked white babies. That's what we know. Right? That's what we know. They didn't look like little naked white babies with harps and wings. These things were like monsters, so on and so forth, however you would describe it. This is one thing I just like to pull out to show you what angels look like. You do have the ones that showed up for Sodom and Gomorrah that looked like men, you know what I'm saying? And so on and so forth. And then the Bible says, be careful how you entertain strangers, because some people would entertain angels unaware. So they can look like us as well. Give me Job chapter 1 and 6. I'm going to try to fly through this, see if I can't get it in. I only got about 15 minutes. Whoever grabbed that, let the next person go ahead and grab my next one. It's going to be Psalms 91. Job chapter 1 and 6.
I got it, sir. The book of Job, chapter 1 and verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord.
Now, if you ask any Christian, they'll tell you the sons of God that had sex with women, the daughters of men, was angels, right? Well, that is because sometimes when you see that word sons of God, it is referring to angels. Sometimes when you see sons of God, it is referring to chosen people that come from a line, meaning Adam, the children of Adam, the children of Abraham, the children of Isaac, the children of Jacob, the people that follow Christ in John chapter 1, so on and so forth. So you will see that word sons of God. But this particular one, we would say that these are angels that are coming. The Lord has a host of angels around him. This is what they don't talk about, right? The host, an army of angels that do whatever he tells them to do. These days, they came to present themselves. Keep going.
And Satan came also among them.
Oh, man. What is Satan doing there? Is Satan the son of God? If you tell a Christian Satan is the son of God and pull this precept, how would they feel about that?
Gonna cuss you out.
They gonna cuss you out, right? Yeah, you gotta be careful. Like, what we gotta understand is Satan's job within this earth is to do what the Lord said to do. His job is to test you. He is just a messenger who reports back to the Most High what your dumb ass down here doing, because you think that nobody's seen it.
Mm-hmm.
He here to test you and present to you all the things you got in your mind that you want on this world that will separate you from the Most High. So this is even including Satan in with the angels. For lack of time, I'll do that another time. Give me Psalms 91 and 9.
I got you.
91 and 9. Go ahead.
The book of Psalms.
From the Gideons.
From the Gideons.
Go ahead.
The book of Psalms, chapter 91 and verse 9. Because you have made the Most High your dwelling place, the Most High who is my refuge, no evil shall be allowed to befall you.
Mm-hmm.
No plague come near your tent. For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. On their hands, they will...
Yeah, he reading another translation. I'm gonna go behind him.
Me.
Yeah.
You gotta be a professional to read this, man, and not get jammed up.
Go ahead. I got it in front of me. Go ahead. I'm gonna go back behind you. Just keep going.
Come.
And don't read no more after this. You done threw the shock for a loop. So, just for anybody that's new to the class, let me just do this right here because we don't do this much. When you come into the class, what is proper to have, we have a King James Version Bible. They have all kind of other ones, but the one that's closely related to the Hebrew, the one that the closest to the Hebrew is the King James Version. Of course, none of them say directly what it says in the Hebrew because they have words in Hebrew they don't have in English. So you want to have one of those. You want to have an Apocrypha. You can get a 1611 that has the King James. It's going to read different because it's going to have the older English in there. So you just really want to get what it's saying. But when you come to school, they have certain things that you would have. You have school books, right? Our book that we would use in here is the King James Version. The brother does not have one with him at the time. You could probably get one on your phone, but I think he's using his phone for a camera.
Come. Use
Right.
the phone.
All right. So I think Nishak was offended. So let me just let Nishak finish reading that. It was like, hold on, what? Don't do that. Go ahead, man. Go start from verse 11.
Khan. Psalms 91 and 11. For he shall give his angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways.
So now we've seen in Ezekiel chapter 1 what some of these angels look like. They don't look like they told us they look, right? We've seen in Job that even Satan, who they say is against the Most High, when the Lord called a council, Satan showed up and was right there in the midst of the council. So that shows you Satan ain't fighting against the Most High. So ain't no angels fighting against the Most High. They don't look like white babies. Here it's saying that he will give these angels charge over you. So that means that they have a job to do within the earth to protect you. These angels are on Shamar. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, Most High Christ is right. Go ahead and read verse 12.
Come. Verse 12. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone.
They're going to stop you from making a stupid mistake and hurting yourself. All right? Go ahead and read another 13, and then we'll go to the next one.
Come. Verse 13. Thou shalt tread upon the lion and otter. The young lion and the dragon shall thou trample under feet.
Most High in Christ. You will be able to trample a young lion and a dragon under your feet. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I'm very, very fortunate had to have the opportunity to trample dragons under my feet. Get the Lord ahead. I don't know if y'all understand. Listen, there are dragons in this world that breathe fire, and they have big tails. And they breathe fire, and they can destroy a man if he ain't careful. And the Lord has given angels charge over me to protect me from these dragons and to give me power and dominion over them. Moving right along, Psalms chapter 34, verse 7. All right, Psalms 34 and 7. Thank God for the angels.
Come. The book of Psalms, chapter 34 and verse 7. The angel of the Lord encamp around about them that fear him.
Oh man. Yeah, if you ain't got no fear for them, you ain't them angels that's on Shamar, they might let somebody slip in the back door. How you think your oppressor get over you? The angels could control this thing. That's what they sent here for. They are more powerful than you think. If the Lord allows your oppressor to get over you, it's because you did not have wisdom. You did not have the fear of the Lord. You were not obedient. If you kept reading in Job, this is what they was talking about. I only didn't read it because I ain't have a bunch of time, but he's telling Job, he's telling the Lord is telling him, like, Job, that boy bad, like he don't play, he does everything I tell him. Satan is like, yeah, I mean, of course, the nigga rich. You got angels around him. take everything he have, but he'll curse you to your face. And the Lord say, all right, go ahead, I'm gonna let you do it. Satan could not do anything without asking the Most High. The angels are not more powerful. They're not fighting God. That's not what's happening. Read it again.
Come, sir. Psalms 34:7. The angels of the Lord encamp around about them that fear him.
Right. Keep going.
And delivereth them.
He will what?
Delivereth them.
They will deliver them. Let's show an example of that real quick. Hey, Nashak, I'm running out of time. I might have to send you the rest of these so you can go ahead and break them down. All right. Give me 2 Kings chapter 6, verse 15. I'm gonna definitely get to this one before I go.
6 and 15, sir.
Khan.
The book of Kings, 2 Kings, chapter 6, verse 15. And when the servants of the man of God was risen early and gone forth, behold, an host compassed the city, both with horses and chariots.
When you see that word host, what does that mean?
Lucky.
Go ahead.
It means army.
So there's an army that compassed the city. Now they got horses and chariots all around them. They woke up like this. So just make you wake up and the ops is all around you. What you gonna do? Keep reading.
Come. And his servant said unto him, Alas, my master, how shall we do?
Like, what we gonna do? Go ahead.
And if I could, sir, that alas means damn, right?
Pretty much. Damn, what we gonna do? Go ahead.
Verse 16. And he answered, Fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them.
Even though it's more of them, he's saying they that be with us is more than they that be with them. What do you mean by that? He's talking about something y'all might have heard said before. It's called quality over quantity. You can have 1 million, how I want to say it, whole ass niggas in purple, right? Or I could have 5 of y'all, right? They read it again. They that what?
They that be with us are more than they that be with them.
They are better men. That's what General Hyman was talking about. He was like, General Q is with us, right? You know Captain Tazariak is with us. You know Captain Akkad is with us. You feel what I'm saying? Like, they ain't got none of them. They ain't got no Nashak.
Right.
They ain't got no Itazab, no Shiratazab. They don't have them. They that with us is more than they that be with them. One thing you cannot forget, if you going about numbers, is because you got a whole bunch of foolishness. You got a whole bunch of foolishness. The Lord don't even allow us to count the numbers. He's with the one. He's with the underdog. He's with the one that you don't see that has the most, so he can prove it. He did it right here. Keep reading.
Come. And Elisha, verse 17. Verse 17. And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha.
Them forces of chariots of fire were doing exactly what it said in Psalms 34. They were protecting the men of God. Like, even though you outnumber, you got a force that's with you that's more powerful than them that be in the world. Right? Go ahead.
It's lucky, sir. If I may.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm imagining that scene, right? Like, I'm imagining, like, okay, you ever seen I think it's a show called Among Us. Not Among Us. It's a show. What's that white
Just
boy?
break it down. Just break it down for the sake of time.
Yeah, he got the glasses, and so like when he put the glasses on, he see everything. But when you take them off, they look like regular light.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying?
He looked like he put the glasses on. Now he see all the angels standing back there. Like
like Alicia see it. Alicia already on point.
Yeah.
He like, man, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Like 8 of us. He put on the glass. He got a vision.
Exactly. It's the same thing that will allow 8 brothers from Kentucky to battle the whole Black Lives Matter movement and walk out of there, everybody alive. You understand?
Right.
All of them LGBTQs against the priests and prophets of the Lord. Yeah.
Knocking.
All right, I got you. All of them against the priests and prophets of the Lord. All right. Keep reading. We're going to finish it.
Khan.
I got to go.
Khan. Verse 18. And when they came down to him, Elisha prayed unto the Lord and said,
That's a good move. Keep going.
And said, smite this people, I pray thee, with blindness. And he smote them with blindness.
So long story short, they ain't even have to do nothing to them. The Lord struck them with blindness. Right? So at the end of the day, these angels keeping charge over you is stronger. I think I sent it to you. Got Acts 5, Acts 12. I don't know if you know what those mean. I just had them in my notes in the shop. What I will do is I can transfer over to the audio, but y'all can hold it down. If y'all want to just talk about the angels for a minute until I get transfer, I can kind of break it down for you. All right. I'm getting ready to roll from class here. The library closes at 8. We do need a school, but our school down in Riviera in the Raw, they don't got that problem. Ain't nobody kicking them out. So let's keep paying this rent so them boys don't have to get out like I got to get out. Salaki. I'm gonna plug back in if I could though. But other than that, y'all hold it down, all right?
Colonel Consor.
Shalom, sir.
All right, shalom.
Shalom, sir. That's heavy. I mean, the whole world thinks that, the angels are little white babies, like he said, or your grandmama died and, she's watching over you. It's on movies. It's on TV. You know what I'm saying? Like they are teaching us fantasy life. They're teaching you to live in a dream world. And that's what I was telling the brother today at the slave. You know what I'm saying? Like everything in this world, this society teaches you, to think of a dream world. You know what I mean? Like when I asked the brother earlier how Christ was going to return, you know what I mean? Like he's imagining, Santa Claus coming out the sky, some man just floating down and then, come to the ground. No, that's, you know what I mean? Like, I told him, bro, I said, I like reality. You know what I'm saying? I like reality. I like what Officer Kazak just broke down. An angel's got, you know what I mean, the face of a man, the face of a lion, the face of an ox, the face of an eagle. You know what I'm saying? And that was heavy when Itazar was reading it. Because what did it say? It said they go forward and they go back and they go side to side without turning. So that means each face, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm looking at this way, I can go that way. I'm also can see that way. All I do is go that way. I can see that way. I just go that way. You know what I mean? Like that shit was hardcore when he read it. I was like, when I visualized that, I was like, dang, that's heavy. You know what I mean? This angel just does like this. You know what I'm saying? Like he ain't got to turn his head. He see all 360. He see that's a real angel. Not a darn baby with, you know what I mean, wings on his back or whatever. Okay. Go ahead.
And what a baby gonna protect you from?
I have no clue. How, right. You know what I'm saying? The baby is gonna protect you from what?
From what? Your baby needs your protection.
The white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. All right. So let's get Acts chapter 5 and verse 12. Let's go Acts chapter 5 and verse 12 and find out reality, what our power has. You know what I mean? Like he has given us an insight on how the universe works, how it works in the fourth and third dimension, Itazar. You know what I'm saying? He's given us knowledge. All we have to do is understand it and be taught it. Okay. Like Officer Kazak brought out earlier, now is the time that we need to be taught again. You know what I mean? Because we've been taught a dream world. Okay? Give me Acts 5 and verse 12.
Book of Acts, chapter 5, verse 12. And by the hands of the apostles were many signs and wonders wrought among the people. And they were all with one accord in Solomon's porch. And of the rest durst no man join himself to them. But the people magnified them. And believers were the more added to the Most High. Multitudes both of men and women. Insomuch that they brought forth the sick into the streets and laid them on beds and couches, that at the least of the shadow of Peter passing by might overshadow some of them.
Yeah, I'm not really getting how this is tying into, the angels, but this is a good scripture, like that shows, like, once we understand and know, how this universe works, how the third and fourth and third dimension works, we get power. You know what I'm saying? By serving the Most High power, we now can do things that the angels can do. You know what I'm saying? As men, we can do it. You know what I'm saying? Because like when Officer Kazak asked the question earlier, when he said, "What are angels?" Like, and you know what I mean? You said messenger. So angels are not only just the beings from the fourth dimension. If you serve the Most High and keep His law, statutes, and commandments, and teach man to do so, then you're just like you're God's angels. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, God.
You're His messenger. Okay, so you know what I mean. This is what this is saying. You know what I'm saying? We are angels too. But like it said when we broke down the definition, okay, we are a little below the angels that are in the fourth dimension. But Christ, being perfect, is over all. Okay, but just as a regular man who serves the Most High, we are just a little below the angels. You know what I'm saying? That are in the fourth dimension.
Lucky, sir.
Go ahead.
He said, Christ did say, greater things that, what's the scripture say?
Greater works than I do, you shall do.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I bring that out all the time when brothers and sisters be like, they can't be perfect. We can't keep all the laws. Well, Christ said you would do greater things than He do. You know what I mean? Like, all you got to do is want it. All you got to do is be obedient, like the angels. You know what I'm saying? Try to be like them. Be like Christ. Just do that. He was a man. Like the world teach you that Christ was not a man. He was, you know what I mean? He was like a spirit or some crazy crap. Go ahead, Aitazar.
If I may, like what you're saying about the angels, you know what I'm saying? Us being slightly lower, we said slightly lower than them.
Right.
And like this is a scripture where it says like they was jealous of us, like because we have the ability to break the law and we still keep the law.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we still do this thing. Well, Christ Himself did it perfectly, without no hiccups. Right. They like, what? This man, he could go and do any damn thing, and he's serving the Lord like better than us.
Most High Christ. That's heavy, man. That is heavy. That is man. That's what's up. You know what I'm saying? That's heavy. You know what I'm saying? And we can do that. All we got to do is be taught again reality and not, a dream world. We got to be taught what the Lord gave us. He gave us an insight. You know what I'm saying? He gave us an insight. We got the records right here. All we got to do is go and do it. Okay. So let's go over to the same book. Okay. Hold on. Same book. Chapter 12. Go to chapter 12 and verse 6. Chapter 12, verse 6. Start at verse 4.
book of Acts, chapter 12, verse 4. And when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison. Should I read from 1?
Yeah, go ahead. Give me one.
The book of Acts, chapter 12, verse 1. Now, about that time, Herod the king stretched forth his hand to vex certain of the church.
The church. Now, what is the church? Now, he's talking, you know what I mean? He's vexing Hebrews. He's want to vex the Israelites. What is the church? Go ahead.
A congregation of Israelites, like Israelites itself when they come together.
That's true. I just don't like the way you said it.
Congregation.
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 But you're right. I mean, you're absolutely, you know what I mean? It's a group of men, okay, that, you know, keep God's law, statutes, and commandments, that teach brothers and sisters also to do the same, okay? Go ahead.
And he killed James.
And if I may, what can we call them based on what we're reading right now, our subject matter?
Angels.
Right. The water. Go ahead.
And he killed James, the brother of John, with the sword. And because he saw it pleased the Jews, he proceeded further to take Peter also. Then were the days of unleavened bread.
Right. So then was the days of unleavened bread. That means what? He killed them on the Passover. You know what I'm saying? He killed this brother during the Passover. Okay. And what's so crazy is just like we're reading here, it's just like it is today. Like they would have the white man come and take you off that piece of wood when you're at camp and take you to jail and, you know, hopefully never see you again. You know, that's what Negroes would want. Negroes wanted Christ dead instead of the thief. Okay. So that's, man, this is so crazy. And it's all because we don't know who we are. We don't know, you know what I'm saying, what we should be doing in this earth. Keep going.
Verse 4.
Oh, Salaki. Shalom, sir, Lord Christ. Can you hear me? Okay.
Lord Christ. Y'all can hear me?
Khan Khan, sir.
All right, keep going.
Khan Khan. Read.
Khan. Verse 4. And when he apprehended him, he put him in prison and delivered him to 4 quaternions of soldiers to keep him.
4 quaternions?
Quaternions.
What is that? Let's look that word up real quick.
Yes, 4.
Yeah, I figured it's, you know, 4, but I just want to, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to guess. I want to make sure, you know what I mean? So if you could just look it up on your Google machine, if you could, Lewis.
Alexa, what is a quaternion?
From LATimes.com. In the July to September quarter, the yen averaged 112.7 to the US dollar.
Alexa, stop. She thought I said quaternion.
Okay, read it from the top.
Verse 4. And when he apprehended him, he put him in prison and delivered him to 4 quaternions of soldiers to keep him, intended after Easter to bring him forth to the people.
Right. So this is the one time in the whole scriptures where the word Easter appears. And it's just a mistranslation of Passover. Okay. Keep reading.
Okay.
They set out to kill the Most High's angels. Okay. Go ahead.
Verse 5. Peter therefore was kept in prison, but prayer was made without ceasing of the church unto God for him. Verse 6. And when Herod would have brought him forth the same night, Peter was sleeping between 2 soldiers, bound with chains, and the keepers before the door kept the prison. And behold, the angel of the Lord came upon him, and a light shined in the prison. And he smote Peter on the side, and raised him up.
God, that's heavy, man. Like when you picture that in your mind, like you laying sleep, you chilling, and then just somebody hit you in your side, like, nigga, get up. You
Get
know
up,
what I mean?
nigga.
Get up.
Yeah,
You know
exactly.
what you doing? You know what I mean? Can you imagine that shit? Wow, you feel what the hell? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? This is, and you know what? Like the goddamn church would make this into like some sort of fairy tale. They don't want to deal with this being reality. This is what happened. Okay, if you believe in the Bible, you got to know this actually happened. Okay, this is what an angel does. This is what an angel looks like. Okay, he's not a white baby that floats around in the air and, like Officer Kazak say, shoot arrows and make you have rapture feelings for somebody. Okay, so this is what we need to understand. This is what we need to learn. Reality. Okay, this is how the third dimension actually, cross paths with the fourth dimension. Okay, keep going.
Verse 8, verse 7. And behold, the angel of the Lord came upon him in the light, and a light shined in the prison, and he smote Peter on the side and raised him up, saying, Arise up quickly. And his chains fell off from his hands. Verse 8, and the angel said unto him, Gird thyself and bind on thy sandals. And so he did. And he said,
Put your shoes on, nigga. We gotta go.
Right, I was gonna say that. So he's like, put your belt on. Put your garment and your belt on and your shoes. Let's go.
He had them Levi sandals.
Go ahead.
Brothers, I know what I'm talking about.
Toes all out and everything.
Yeah. And he said unto him, Cast thy garment about thee and follow me. And he went out.
Put your clothes on. Let's go. Go ahead.
And followed him, and wist not that it was true which was done by the angel, but thought he saw a vision.
Right. So he thought he was dreaming.
Yeah.
When all this was happening, he wist, which he knew. He didn't know this was really happening. He wanted to get up out of it because he had prayed continually. He was praying. The church was praying. Everybody was praying for this brother not to lose his life. Okay,
so if I could.
Come on, sir.
Yeah, now the reason this is here, right? Just so y'all know why we here. Do you think your grandma that they said was an angel, or that white baby gonna break a nigga out of jail?
Right.
that's not what happened, right?
Come.
My grandma, and I love her dearly, may she rise again, would have been like, you did something you ain't had no business doing, or you wouldn't have been. She ain't coming to get me out of no jail. Right. The little white baby ain't coming to break you out. Right. This is what I'm saying. These angels, that's why what I was trying to bring out, right? And I don't know if I missed the last one. I halfway heard you reading it, and I know you was like trying to figure out why it was there. But these angels are helping men of the Lord even after the oppressor thought they should be locked up, helping them break out. They wondering how they even get up out these chains. It's because the Lord was with them. You know what I'm saying? That's the main thing I wanted to bring out. These angels ain't what you think they is or what they was taught. They have a specific place, and the Lord used them for what He wants them to do. They ain't fighting the Lord. They fighting for the men of the Lord.
Colonel Khan, if I may, sir, it's like you said earlier, like you brought out earlier, they are there to protect those that fear the Most High. Okay?
That's go.
Colonel Khan. Colonel Khan, sir.
Was it more to that?
Any more on that, Itazar?
I just specifically wanted to show what the angel did in there, because the story continues to go on or whatever, where he presented himself to them. But The angel broke this nigga out of jail. That's all I want y'all to know.
And you're right. You know, I definitely was gonna say, you know, I was gonna say like what Isupk said earlier, like what's a little baby gonna save you from? So I was definitely gonna say that. You know what I mean? Like a little baby can't break you out of jail, just like you brought out.
We ain't never seen them babies with no flames of fire like they was when they was watching over Alicia and them either, with chariots and flames of fire. Them angels had chariots and arrows. Go ahead.
Sir. Now imagine if the young man was able to see what was around him and seen a bunch of babies. He would have. If it was me, I would have been like, "Bro, I'm going home."
We about to get our ass whooped. These babies ain't about to do nothing. Listen, Salakia.
But it's a little bit more on here. I mean, if you wanted.
Yeah, go ahead.
Little meat left on the bone. Verse 10. When they were past the first and the second ward, they came unto the iron gate that leadeth unto the city, which opened to them of his own accord. And they went out and passed on through one street, and forthwith the angel departed from him. Verse 11. And when Peter was come to himself, he said, Now I know of a surety that the Lord hath sent his angel, and he hath delivered me out of the hand of Herod, and from all the expectation of the people of the Jews.
Now think about this, right? Peter knew with a surety that this angel delivered him from the hands of the oppressors. We waiting on that same thing today. Christ to come back with these angels to deliver us out of the hands of the oppressors. I mean, they got a track record all the way back to Alicia. It ain't like they ain't done it before. Right. If they could do, you know what I'm saying? They locked this man up. They was gonna kill him the next day. He was gonna be put to death that next day. I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah. That's so heavy what you're saying, sir, because it just brought back into my memory, like I was bringing out. I told you I was at the slave, and the brother was like, you know, Christ is gonna come down and float. You know what I mean? Be floating. Everybody gonna look up and see this man floating in the sky. And what you just said was so heavy, because I didn't even get to the point to tell him, you know what I mean, like that, you know, Christ was gonna come with, you know what I mean, 100 million angels and chariots, because you know what I mean, like it's just so heavy. Like we live a fantasy, you know what I mean. But him, if I'd have told him that, he'd have said I was living the fantasy. He'd have thought I was the one, you know what I mean, that you know was thinking up and creating stuff, and you know didn't have a good grip on reality. But in reality, it's him who does not have a good grip on reality. That's just, you know what I mean.
Well, you know, Nashad, the thing is, people believe that what we living in right now is reality when it's really the Matrix. You know what I'm saying? Your spirit is really plugged in to this existence right here. And what happens is when you die, your spirit continues to live on, and it can get plugged into a whole different existence. So how is this world we in right now reality when the Lord takes this spirit back when you're done and use it to replenish the earth, is what it says in Psalms 9. I think it's Psalms 93. I might be wrong about the number, but the point being is, like, these messengers of the Lord ain't passive. They're aggressive. That angel showed up just to break Peter out, and then the angel departed after Peter was free. He didn't have no other job at that particular point, right? The angel wasn't covered, you know what I'm saying, just to hover and all of that. The Lord sent that angel on a mission. He completed the mission, and he went about his business to go do whatever else the Lord had him to do. So that's one of the things I just wanted to bring out. Hey, did y'all get the other joint in the Acts? Did y'all get that? Did you get why that was there? Or?
Well, I broke it down to like we could be angels too. Like if we serve the Most High, you know what I'm saying, we would be, you know what I mean, we would be servants of the Most High. We would be angels too. We can go back to it, sir. I would definitely want to go back to it so you can, you know what I mean, break it down.
The only reason I asked, only reason I asked this shot because when I was trying to get back into the class, I heard you say I don't really know why he pulled this here. So I just wanted to know if as y'all kept if after y'all kept reading and you found out why it was there, or it was still kind of like I don't know what this got to do with anything.
Yeah, it was still
because I just sent you the script.
Come. Yeah. So I didn't, you know what I mean? I really didn't know why you put it there.
All right, let's go to it then.
Come, sir. The book of Psalms. Salaki, the book of Acts, chapter 5 and verse 12. And by the hands of the apostles were many signs and wonders wrought among the people. And they were all with one accord in Solomon's porch. And of the rest, durst no man join himself to them, but the people magnified them. And believers were the more added to the Lord. Multitudes both of men and women. Insomuch that they brought forth the sick into the streets and laid them on beds and couches, that at least the shadow of Peter passing by might overshadow them. It's like it might overshadow some of them. There came also a multitude out of the cities round about unto Jerusalem.
I don't know. That might be the wrong scripture. Let me. I'm not able to kind of look because I'm on my phone to make sure that was the right one. But just keep going. What's the next one? Because I don't have them pulled up.
Okay, the next one, sir, is Ecclesiasticus 39 and 28.
Yeah, let me show you these angels right here.
Most High Christ.
Can't get away from these.
Most High Christ. Come. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 39 and verse, I'll start at 26.
What did it say? 28 on there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, start wherever you think.
Come. The principal thing, Salakia, Ecclesiasticus 39 and 26. The principal things for the whole use of man life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, and oil and clothing. All these things are for good to the godly. So to the sinner, they are turned into evil. Verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them.
Let's stop right there. So now we have these spirits, right? And this is what I'm trying to say. We was told that those things that happen, I don't know if y'all know this, but Christians teach that everything that happens good in the earth, that's God.
Right.
Everything that benefits them, that's God. Right. And the angels working on their behalf. Everything that bad happens in the earth, that ain't God, that's the devil.
Right.
Like the devil got his own type of power, right? To do whatever he wants to do within the earth. When we read in Job, Satan was right there in the midst of the sons of God with the rest of the angels as part of the host. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We have plenty of things throughout the Bible to show where the Lord said, I create evil and I do good. I, the Lord, do all these things. Ain't nothing happened. A trumpet be blown in the city. You know, I did it. You know what I'm saying? So what this is talking about right here is their spirits that were created for vengeance. Vengeance is of the Lord. The Lord is the one who will repay people for their evil doing. There are spirits and angels that were created. Just hold on. That was created just for them to do the will of the Lord, for people who deserve punishment. That's their job in the earth. So when you start talking about angels, nobody ever talk about these angels that's sitting here to do punishment. What did it say? Read it again. There are spirits within the earth that what?
That are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them.
So they actually not fighting against the Lord, they're appeasing the Lord. What does that mean, to appease? Anybody know?
To please.
That's right. That's to go ahead.
I was gonna add also to satisfy.
That's right. Satisfy. They doing what satisfied and pleases the Lord by punishing you, by wrath, by so on and so forth. So yeah, you definitely got to know what time it is. Like, this thing ain't just about these angels doing good. They protect you. They can protect you. They can come in and do what Satan did and test you. They can, you know what I'm saying, reveal something to you like they did when we was reading earlier. The angel or the messenger comes and reveals this thing to Joshua so that he can interpret dreams. They have all different reasons, or like they can come just to break you out of prison. So these angels ain't just what they told you they was. They have different forms in the earth and different things that make them but the Lord calls and uses them for whatever he needs. No different than us. You got different types of men. Some men were created just to do evil, and the Lord to destroy them, like Pharaoh. Some men were created just to do the will of the Lord, and you got everything else in between. That's why even men are called angels. Oh, y'all ain't know that, did you? All right. Keep going, whoever was reading.
Colonel Khan, sir. Verse 29. Fire and hail and famine and death. All these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts.
So look at this. Teeth of wild. So when man get ate up by alligators and lions and all of that, the Lord is in control of all of that.
Wow.
If he didn't ordain or make it happen, he allowed it to happen. Romans chapter 9 said, who have resisted his will? How is the Lord judging people when he controlling everything? That's the question Paul was asking. You know what I'm saying? But he was saying, like, don't the potter have power over the clay? So if the Lord created these angels, how they fighting with the Lord? How they fighting against him? If the Lord is the most powerful thing, the most high over all gods and everything that exists, how is an angel fighting him? That's like saying I could fight God, me. And I'm buying bullets from the white man. An angel can't fight the Lord, nigga. Right. The Lord can destroy that angel with just his word. With his word. So how is there a war going on? They lied to us. Even the angel, somebody give me the one in Psalms where it talks about evil angels. Somebody give me that one. Evil that might angel. Be it might be on the list. If you see another one in Psalms, that's probably it.
No, it's not on my list.
All right, yeah, give me that one. Keep reading where you at, Nishar.
Colonel Khan, sir. Ecclesiasticus 39 and 29. Fire and hail and famine and death. All these were created for vengeance.
Wait a minute. You see that? It says these angels are appeasing or satisfying or pleasing the Lord. And it says fire and death and everything else that people would claim was terrible things.
Right.
There's angels that's sent to do this within the earth, and it is of the Lord.
That's crazy.
Keep going now.
Yes, sir. Verse 30. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents in the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction.
Punishing the wicked to destruction. If there was no death, then how would the wicked ever die? If there was no sword, how would we? Well, why is this? They saying the sword so bad, but Christ say, if you ain't got one, go sell your garment and get one. The Lord is doing all these things, man, and the angels that's working on behalf of the Most High. If they against you, it's gonna seem like that. That word devil or Satan in the Hebrew just means adversary. That means he's against you. He ain't against God, he's against you.
Wow.
But he can't do nothing to you if you obeying the Most High. Nothing. He got to ask for permission. Remember that story in Job. I ain't had time to read it, but if you go back to it, the Lord said, "Go." He had to say, he asked the Lord to take everything away from Job and see what was going to happen.
Right.
And the Lord allowed him to do that. So it's the same way. It's the same way with you. If you obey the Most High, and Satan, no angel, nobody, nothing can't do nothing to you, right?
Come.
Somebody got that other one in Psalms?
Come.
Go ahead.
The book of Psalms, chapter 78.
And while we doing that, somebody get me. I can't really look up everything, but I know it's one that says if I or an angel or something tell you another gospel, let them be accursed or something like that. Go ahead. Go ahead, Itazal.
Come on. The book of Psalms, chapter 78, verse 49. He cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath, and indignation, and trouble, by sending evil angels among them. He made a way to his anger. He spared not their soul from death, but gave their life over to the pestilence.
You see that right there? Oh, that scripture that I just said, it was Galatians 1:8. But what Isaiah just read is the Lord ain't with you. Remember how the angels were sent and they would protect you? They would even come and get you out of jail. They would save you from the oppressor. They would help you win a war. They would provide manna. They would do all of these things. They would help you get raised up in a kingdom. But at the same time, they'll work on the other half. And then the Lord will send evil. Did it say evil angels?
Evil angels.
Damn. That exists? Has anybody ever heard of evil angels in the Christian church?
Sir.
Yeah, you heard of them. They call it Satan. Satan. The ones that's fighting against God.
Right.
But here's the Bible saying evil angels ain't fighting against God at all. Right. He's sending them against you. That's crazy, right?
Yes,
that's crazy. Yeah, go ahead.
That's so heavy. You're absolutely right. You know what I'm saying? Like they call them fallen angels. And you know what I'm saying? The angels that would rather serve Satan than serve the Most High. You know what I'm saying? They would equate that to an evil angels, and now that would be called the demon or a devil. But these angels, like you're saying, are obeying the Lord. You know what I'm saying? They right in heaven with him, doing everything he say. And touching your grandmother's thigh and giving it thyroid cancer or whatever. I don't know, or damn diabetes.
Thyroid cancer is not in the thigh.
I know, right?
And he said, thigh.
Yeah,
Thigh,
you know,
Lord, get it?
it got to be in the thigh because it's a thyroid.
Good night.
You know what I'm saying?
No, but I get your point.
What's that?
No, I said no, but I get your point though. I was just saying thyroid ain't in the thigh. But no, but the point is what he's saying, even those things that's good or bad, you have angels which are spirits, right? In a different dimension than what we in, operating on behalf of the most high in order for his pleasure to come. That's what he was reading in Ecclesiasticus. And this is saying that for those people that are going against what the Lord told him to do, he will send evil angels among you. He will make it where these angels literally stop your crops from growing, stop it from raining, stop it from you getting a blessing, make it harder for you to do what you want to do. And it's all for the Lord to chastise you and it's showing you why you should have followed and did what he told you to do and been obedient to him. These angels ain't fighting against the Lord. They fighting against your evil ass. They fight. You really Satan. You really the adversary of the Most High. They work on his behalf. That's crazy, ain't it? You don't believe me, do you? What's that last one you got over there? What's that last one you got? The other one you got over there? Before we get to the Galatians, not the Galatians.
Oh, okay.
What you got on the list?
Like you, sir. 1 Kings 22 and 18.
Yeah, let's go there and see an example of what. Let's get that.
Come. So I got it. The book of 1 Kings, chapter 22.
This is a good example. This is a good example right here. If this is what I think it is. Go ahead.
Come, sir. 1 Kings, chapter 22 and verse 18. And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, did I not tell thee that he would prophesy no good concerning me, but evil? And he said, hear thou therefore the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting on his throne.
Hear now the words of the Lord. Now this is the word of the Lord, right? Right. Go ahead.
I saw the Lord sitting on his throne, and all the host of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left.
Remember we was talking about the host of heaven, right? The army of the Lord, the sons of God, the angels that he comes and he has a council. The Lord can make the decisions, but he has a council, a host, right? Where you at? You in 2nd Chronicles or you in 2nd Kings?
1 Kings, sir.
All right,
Kings,
go ahead and read it.
1 Kings, chapter 22, verse 20. And the Lord said, who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one said this manner, and another said on that manner. And there came forth a spirit and stood before the Lord.
There came forth a what? There came forth a what?
A spirit.
So the Lord has got a host. He has an army, a council around him. And he's saying, you know, I can do this thing, but how you want to do it? Who's going to go forth and make sure that this happens? And a spirit showed up. So this shows you he's talking to who? Spirits. Angels. Right? And a spirit showed up and did what?
And stood before the Lord and said, I will persuade him. And the Lord said unto him, wherewith? And he said,
how you gonna do that? He said, I'm gonna persuade him. He said, how you gonna do that? Go ahead.
And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lying spirit and the
Wait a
mouth.
minute. Hold on. Wait. So this is an angel standing before the Most High and saying to the Lord, this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to be a lying spirit. Keep going.
I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said,
oh man, hold on. Now you can't speed past that. Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. Wait 1 minute. I will be I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of his prophets. This is an angel, right? We just read about the evil angel. Why is this angel able to be a lying spirit before the Lord and not be wrong? Anybody?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Because the prophets was already lying, so it was already in them to lie. So
that ain't the answer. Anybody else?
Salaki, sir.
Go ahead.
So they was able to be a lying spirit, and because that would appease the Most High.
There you go. You had to be in this class. These angels are on their only job is to make what the Most High want to happen. However he wanted to happen. Remember, everybody is bringing their own ideas. All these spirits is saying, yeah, I'll do this. And this spirit right here excelled them all because he came up with a plan to make what's the point? The Lord wanted Ahab to fall at Ramoth Gilead. That's the point. How are we going to make this happen? Here's the counsel. How are we going to make this happen? One said after this manner, one said after another one. And then this spirit came up and said, I'm going. Remember, the question that the Lord asked was what? Who shall entice Ahab, the king of Israel, that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? How are we going to make this happen? I'm going to be a lying spirit in the mouth of his prophets. Meaning, the prophets that he's going to go to are going to tell him a prophecy, but that prophecy is not going to be true. The Lord is doing this. The angels is doing this. Are they fighting against God while they doing this? Or are they appeasing them that made them? Y'all follow me? Everybody understand?
Yes, sir. Most High Christ.
All right. Keep going.
1 Kings chapter 22, verse 22. And the Lord said unto him, wherewith? And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said, thou shalt persuade him and prevail also. Go forth and do so.
So the Lord told him to do it. The Lord didn't say, I don't do it, and then he fighting against the Lord and bucking up against the Lord and say, I'm gonna do it anyway. No, the Lord told him to do it. And just in case you think that the records that's in the Kings, let's go to 2 Chronicles 18 real quick. Give me like verse 17. 2 Chronicles 18. This is where I thought you was at. I gotta put this in my notes too.
Second
Chronicles.
Chronicles.
Yeah, what it say?
Chapter 18 and verse 17. Is that right, sir?
Yeah, I really want 19, but I just went up a couple just to see what it says.
Second Chronicles 18 and 17. And the king of Israel said to Jehoshaphat, did I not tell thee that he would not prophesy good unto me, but evil? Again, he said, Therefore, hear the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting upon his throne, and all the host of heaven standing on his right hand and on his left. And the Lord said, who shall entice Ahab, king of Israel, that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one spake, saying, after this manner, and another saying, after that manner. Then there came out a spirit and stood before the Lord and said, I will entice him. And the Lord said unto him, wherewith? And he said, I will go out and be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And the Lord said, thou shalt entice him, and thou shalt also prevail. Go out and do even so. Now,
so is this in the Bible twice?
Sir.
So nice you had to say it twice. In the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses must every matter be established.
Most High Christ.
That's fake Israelite clubhouse talk if you don't understand what's going on, right? Right? It's in the Bible twice though, right?
Word for word.
So is the point being made that the Lord called on this council and these people or these spirits said that I'll be a lying spirit in the mouth of his prophets, and the Lord told him to do that? That's in the Bible twice, right? In either instance, were these angels fighting against the Lord? Or did the Lord give them the Lord gave him his blessing. Go ahead and do that. That sounds good to me. Let's make this happen. Y'all see that, right? All right, yes, we can keep moving. You got any other scriptures over there I sent that we ain't hit?
Exodus 15:3.
Let's go there and see what's there. If y'all have any questions about what's going on, and I can't see the chat too either, Mishak.
Okay,
so if y'all have anybody got any questions on what we talking about, or they don't understand the point, or they don't know why we bringing this out, let me know.
Sir. You got the scripture, young man?
Go
ahead.
The book of Exodus, chapter 15, verse 3. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name.
Oh, you know why this is there. The Most High is a man of war. Yahweh is his name. Is how that's read. Right? It's because people only think that his messengers, right? That these spirits that are obedient to him only do nice and beautiful and wonderful things. They don't understand that sometimes, like when I was looking at them tornadoes that happened in West Palm Beach a couple weeks ago, I'm looking at them tornadoes like, look, I'm in them like, look at God. I'm looking at them tornadoes like, look at God. And when I talk to my brothers down there, when I talk to y'all brothers and y'all say, oh yeah, the hood good. It only tore up all the oppressive stuff. It only tore up all Esau stuff. I knew it was the Lord, huh? I knew it was the angel from the Lord sent to destroy the people that have been destroying his people.
If I may, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
If I may, it's so crazy because the day it happened, I had to meet this Edomite right over here by Riviera Beach. And he pulled up and he was like, oh, shaking. And he's like, he showed me on his phone. He's like, this is right over there where I live in Palm Beach Gardens. And I'm looking at him like, what is this? And it was like hail everywhere. And we were standing right over here and it was good. I was like, what? It was so crazy. I'm like, right over it. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, damn, in my mind, I'm thinking Most High Christ. You know what I mean? And tearing his neighborhood up.
Remember
Do
that
we
one?
got to go back to Ecclesiasticus where it said there are spirits created for vengeance, hell, and the teeth of wild beasts, and the
Okay.
sword, and death, and all of this was to appease the Lord? Do we got to go back there?
Salaki, sir. And
Go ahead.
like the scriptures say with a whirlwind. You know what I'm saying? Like the angels is in the
Absolutely.
world. The angels in
I
the
had a
world.
whole breakdown that Captain Shawar gave me when I first came into school. Is the Lord is in the eye of the storm. The Lord is in the storm.
Mm-hmm.
We taught that. That's one West. The Lord is making the Lord do all these things. That's why that is here when we talking about these angels, because these angels don't only do good, they do evil too. they don't only protect you, they will destroy you too. The angels will do whatever the Lord tells them to do concerning you. If he tell them to protect you from all evil and let nothing get there, then that's fine. If he give them the permission, like he did Satan and Job, then that's what's gonna happen. But you never hear about this in the Christian church. But it's all through the Bible. We reading it right now, right? We're
Come.
reading it right now.
Come.
Was that the last one to shop?
Come, sir.
All right. What about that one in Galatians?
You said
Check
Galatians
this out.
1 and 8, sir.
Yeah, Galatians 1 and 8. Let's get it.
Come. The book of Galatians, chapter 1 and verse 8. But though we or an angel from heaven preach any other gospel unto you than that which we have preached unto you, let him be accursed.
So what in the world is going? Hold on, wait a minute. What's going on right here? Anybody?
Salaki.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like the Lord is saying, you know what I'm saying? There's people like basically saying, like, if somebody's telling you something different than what's written in these scriptures right here, then let them be like, you know, do away with them. You know what I'm saying?
So he said an angel from heaven. If an angel from heaven come tell you something different,
oh, right.
that ain't interesting to y'all.
Yes, kind of if I could, because like
Go right ahead.
we was bringing up earlier, you know what I'm saying? Angels also can be men. You understand? And the angel from heaven would be someone that you look to as someone who represents God, i.e., a Christian church, a Christian pastor, or, you know what I'm saying, or a self-proclaimed prophet.
Why would the angel who's coming from heaven, meaning he's coming from God, say anything different to you?
If I may, sir.
Go ahead.
Because obviously, you know what I mean, like he's trying to jam you up, and you know what I mean. And if you fall for it, then obviously, you know what I mean, the Lord must not be with you, and is trying to destroy you.
Or it could just be Satan doing his job.
Come.
It could just be Satan doing his job to test you, because it's already said that. You got to remember in Matthew chapter 4, Satan took Christ on a mountain. He said, hey, the angels he read the scripture we read tonight in class, where the angels will have charge over you and protect you. He say, if you be the son of God, go jump off this cliff. The angels gonna catch you, right? That's what it said in the scriptures. That's what he said to Christ. He telling Christ to commit suicide and blaming on the angels that they ain't catch him. Think about that for a second. Give me Romans 11 and 8 real quick.
Like it, sir.
Hey, go ahead.
Could a precept be where it says he formed himself as a light, as an angel?
An angel of light.
Yeah. Could that be?
Go ahead and get me that scripture real quick. We could touch on it. Somebody else get me Lewis. If you could, Lewis. Well, no, I don't want Lewis to get it. Lewis can read it, but I don't want him to get it. Somebody else give me the one where it says the angels which left not their first estate. I think we got to deal with that before we get out of here.
No, that's
which kept not their first estate. As a matter of fact, I'll get that one. Somebody give me the one that Sharatazar asked and the one I asked for.
Okay, Colonel Khan, you said Romans 11:8?
Yeah, let's get it.
Colonel Khan. The book of Romans, chapter 11 and verse 8. According as it is written, God hath given them the spirit of slumber.
Who gave them the spirit of sleep? Who gave them the spirit of slumber?
God hath given them the spirit of slumber.
Satan.
God has given them the spirit of slumber.
All right, keep going.
Colonel Khan. Eyes that they shall not see, and ears that they should not hear, unto this day. And David said, let their table be made a snare, and a trap, and a stumbling block, and a recompense unto them.
So now God has put the spirit of slumber and sleep on them. That seeing they ain't gonna see, hearing they ain't gonna hear. God is the one presenting the test to see if they deserve the kingdom. He's the one who allows Satan to test you and see if you're gonna fall and curse God to your face or not. The angels ain't doing their own thing. The Lord is in control of these angels. Give me Jude chapter 1 and 6. Get a couple in here real quick. We can let Lewis read that one. Jude 1 and 6.
Is Jude in the Apocrypha?
Nah, Jude is in the New Testament.
The book, can I read?
He's got it, sir.
Go ahead.
Okay. The book of Jude, chapter 1, verse 6. And the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own inhabitation, he hath reserved in everlasting chains under the darkness unto the judgment of the great day.
All right, so now what is this talking about? Because if you ask a Christian, he's saying that these angels was fighting against God and he had put them in chains, right? But all night I've been saying angels ain't fighting against God. Somebody tell me what this is really talking about. Or are the Christians right?
This
Go ahead.
Hold on. No. Don't go ahead. Hey, anybody else want to go before Lewis go?
Come on, sir. I wanted to go, but I was just trying to let him go because
You want to give him a chance to answer to see if he's right? Is that what you're saying?
Con, I just wanted to give him a chance.
He said, "All
right, go ahead. Go ahead, Lewis."
Salaki, I think this refers to Israel. That when they broke the law, they didn't keep their first estate, so they got kicked out of the land and went into slavery. So the great day of judgment is like when we're waiting for Christ to come.
So now, Shirazes, are you glad you let Lewis go first, or you want to go?
God, I mean, he pretty much. I was gonna say slightly this. I was gonna say Israelites, and this talking about us in the ghetto, like we in pretty much the same thing he talking about. You know what I mean? Like us in the ghetto, we basically.
That's
in hell.
right. The estate is where you stay at. If I got an estate, that's where I live. I got a mansion. I got a property. I got this. They kept not their first estate, but they was sentenced to hell. Like, we live here. We doing what the hell we doing in the ghetto, like what Shiratazar is bringing out. And he have Salakia, he have allowed us to be taken out of the land of milk and honey and placed into bondage, placed in the chains, and come over here in America because we did not follow him. That word messenger, which is what Itazar brought out when we first in the Zondervan Bible, it just means messengers. We sent to be a nation of kings and priests unto the Lord, and yet we rather serve other gods and serve ourselves and serve idols and serve the other nations. So therefore, we were taken from our estate and placed. All right, you want to serve them? I will raise up a people over you that are not a people at all. I will put people in your land that are nobodies, that I don't care about. We didn't keep our first estate where we was at. But if you read in Revelations 5 and 10, because of the Lamb, we will be redeemed back to our state, and we will be a nation of kings and priests, and we'll be placed back in our land. And all the other lands we will have control over. So this is what that's talking about. I just wanted to address that because we talking about the angels. That's one of the ones. It's another one they pulled too. I think it was How Thou Fallen, O Lucifer. If you go to that, it's talking about the king. It's talking about the king at that time. I want to say it was the king of one of them countries. I can't remember which one it was right now. But y'all understand, right? Anybody got any questions on that?
La, sir.
Salaki.
All right, let's.
Salaki.
Yeah, go ahead.
If I could get one more precept to go with what you was talking about earlier in Isaiah. It's Isaiah 66 and 15.
Go ahead.
It says, "For behold, the Lord will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire." That's it. Or and
There it is right there. That's another one. I got a bunch of them. That's the ones. Those was the notes that was the Lord is in the storm. Meaning, like, when you see these hurricanes, you see all of these things happening, just know that the Lord got something to do with this. And if you accidentally get caught up in it, it ain't no damn accident. You a wicked nigga, and the Lord has sent these things to come and destroy you. Or he might have let you die, and so he could raise you up from the dead, like he let Christ die the death of a sinner, but he was not a sinner. But he'll raise you back up in the end times. Lord be with you. All right. Good scripture though. Let me get one more. Revelations 22 and 16. And we got General Yohana on America on Fire. Y'all make sure y'all go right over there after this. Make sure y'all go right over there and hear what General Yohana got to bring out. You know it's always that fire. Give me Revelations 22 and 16 real quick.
Okay, Khan, the book of Revelation, chapter 22 and verse 16. I, Jesus, I, Jesus, have sent mine angels to testify unto you these things in the churches. I am not, I am the root and the offspring of David, and the bright and morning star.
Remember when we read at the beginning of this class that the angels were messengers? Right here in the last book of the Bible, Christ is saying, I am sending my messengers to testify these things to the churches. Who is the churches? The body of men. I'm sending my messengers to tell the body of men that I am the root and the offspring of David. Don't never let nobody tell you it's not important where Christ came from, you being an Israelite or nothing. Well, why is the Lord Christ expressing who he come from in the last book in the Bible? We say this all the time. From Genesis to Revelations, the Bible is about Yahweh, who is the God of Israel, and the children of Israel and their interaction with everybody else around the world and the Most High, and him redeeming them through Christ to come back and be the rulers on the planet Earth. That's why the Lord, when I'm saying the Lord, I'm talking about small L-O-R-D. Christ is saying right here in Revelation chapter 22, what his lineage, I'm the root and offspring of David, because God promised David some things, right? And when he's saying he's sending his angels, that word goes right back to what we was talking about earlier. I'm sending my messengers, right? They are the messengers of the Most High. They are also y'all. They are also the brothers that come in and decide that they're going to say the same thing that Jeremiah said, that Isaiah said, that Ezekiel said, that John said. Everybody understand, right? Doing that, you become the angels and the messengers of God. Anybody got any questions about angels?
La.
All right, with that, I'll pass the class over to who? Isaac?
I got it, sir. Men of Israel,
man, sit down, man. Man, sit down, man. Let Isaac get it, man. Come on, big homie. Come on, big homie.
Go.
Isaac want to earn a crown, man. His name is Workman. Let him do some work. Salaki in the shot.
No sweat, sir. Water.
All right, men of Israel, imagine we're going to send up a courtesy salute to the teacher in the class. Men of Israel, imagine Shabbat, imagine Barak,
Yahweh Shabbat.
Yahweh Shem Yah Shabaraka Thumb.
Yajmatah. Our sisters in the class can stand. Men of Israel, we're going to give a courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, imagine Shabbat, imagine Barak.
Yahweh Shema
Alatam Ba'ashem Yahushua.
All right, Yajmatah. All right, announcements. Where is that? ISUBK.
Hey, Salaki in the shop.
Yes, sir.
Hey, real quick. Is One West and his ISUPK to have a brother on guard who is not the highest ranking man in the building. All right. So when the general teach, he don't have Captain Tazaria, Captain Shemawa Allah, Captain Katazah. He don't have none of the 5,000s, Shalaya Allah. He don't have none of them do the announcement. So it's a way for the other brothers to be able to get involved in what's really going on. So that's the only reason I did that. So don't take me to counsel.
No, lie, sir. Come, the water. Water, sir.
All right, go ahead, Itazak.
All right, ISUBK security announcements. Rule for new brother or sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They must be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, they are to seek counsel from the heads. Tithes, which is a commandment, find it in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, or Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Ma'ashra means 10th in Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the Treasury Department. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatever amount you would like to give. All right, upcoming Holy Convocation, we have the Feast of Feast of First Fruits, starting after the Sabbath, unleavened bread. Sundown, Sunday, April 9th, 2023. You count 50 days from that day, and you celebrate the 50th day, which will be Monday, May 29th, 2023. All right, so you want to start making your preparations. We will be holding the feast here at the ISUPK Florida headquarters at 1628 Avenue E, Riviera Beach, Florida. So if you would like to be in attendance, make your arrangements now. You can find that in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 10 through 22. And with that, class is dismissed. Oh shoot, Salaki. Before dismissed, we also remind everyone, if you'd like to be a trooper, start wearing all black, boots, headbands, pants, shirts, so on and so forth. All right.
Yeah, ties. Hey, yo, ties. My Aisha in the Hebrew. If a brother want to court a sister, he better go to her. Yeah, man, we got to do that. This ain't the Wild Wild West out here, but we'll get it. Y'all go ahead and report to General Your Honor's America on fire. Bro. We'll get there.
Come on, sir.
Hey, yo, ties.
The water, sir. The water, sir. How about you?
Hey, Officer Kazak, before you go, hold on. I'm in the broadcast.